How would you prefer to manage finances in a relationship? And I found another story on Reddit, which I'm going to read out and we can just discuss it.
You've been spending a lot of time on Reddit,
I
Queenie.
have. It's so interesting because I feel like people can be their true selves and like super honest, and I just love it. Okay. How to deal with money when one person makes more than the other. So 32 female with my 32 male fiance. I've been with my fiance for several years and we're getting married in 5 months. Thus far, we've been splitting the mortgage payments and sharing bills equally. We also shop together, but put our things on the conveyor belt separately and pay separately. Something that's getting kind of embarrassing now that I'm wearing a ring. Eating out and seeing movies are split as well. We've also taken 2 vacations and split those down the middle as well, paying for our own airfare and splitting the hotel bill and other expenses. For the past year, I've been making half of what he's been making. I make approximately $25,000 per year and he makes about $55,000 US dollars, right? I'm assuming so. I've been looking for better work, but it's difficult because I'm at a company where there are excellent benefits, and if I stick it out, I can be making good money in a few years. We're both students who do not have bachelor degrees yet, so finding a decent job paying more here is not easy. Our mortgage and share bills are relatively low, and paying them is not a problem for me. My issue lately has been with discretionary spending. He buys video games frequently and impulsively. He purchased some expensive kitchen electrics, which I immediately get enjoyment from as well on a whim, and most recently purchased a $100 microphone setup for making music. I guess the crux of the problem is that I'm jealous because I can't do that. I have very little money to spend on fun things for myself. I tell him all the time that I'm broke and I have very little money, but he doesn't seem to really get it. I guess I need to know if I'm being a stupid, ungrateful bitch for thinking this way. I get that it's his money and he has worked hard for it. I also know that I was raised with parents who shared their money completely with no separate grocery bills and whatnot. It seems weird to me that we're splitting things like vacations when I can just cover all my bills and savings. I'm also sick of paying separately for everything like groceries and eating out because I find it slightly embarrassing. Too long didn't read. Do other engaged married couples split everything? Is this a common arrangement? Should I just grin and bear it while he goes out shopping and having fun while I'm counting my change for any little luxury like a coffee from Starbucks? Interesting. What do you think, Pablo?
Well, I think there's definitely like one party seem happy and the other party is unhappy. And that's probably not good.
Yeah, for sure.
Because maybe like I think that's the main thing and the main issue is that one party is not happy, and obviously her writing something on Reddit shows that she is not happy, and she, I guess from what I see, she gives him some hints of, oh, I'm broke, and we're, oh, you broke, not like continuing.
Oh yeah, cool, good for you.
Hey, Queenie, I'm broke. Okay, Pablo, you broke.
That sucks for you.
That sucks for you. But I guess she probably needs to sit down and be like, yeah, I'm broke because we split everything and I don't have enough to enjoy myself.
Yeah.
What about you, Queenie?
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't seem like, it's not like he's doing anything wrong, she's doing something wrong, or they're doing something wrong as a couple. Like the problem is more so that she's not happy and they haven't really spoken about this, and maybe they do need to reassess or like discuss something that they're both happy with and come up with a win-win-win situation. Win for her, win for him, and win for both of them as a couple. And there are a few different ways that people split costs in a relationship. Like there's no right or wrong answer. There's no answer that will fit everybody.
Yeah, I think definitely like when like we started dating, like there was a similar unbalance, and the fact that we talked about and split evenly some expenses and split according to income some others was really helpful. And the thing that we both agree on those together is like there is no like someone unhappy in their side just being broke, or some other one like just enjoying the money while their partner is just not enjoying.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think in the early days of Pablo and my relationship, I was a student. Pablo's 5 years older than me, so I was still studying at uni. I was working 2 part-time jobs. One was an unpaid internship to try and get my foot in the door. The other one was a telemarketing job. So I only just had enough for like everything, and we were splitting expenses like 50-50, even though he was earning a lot more than me. I can also feel, I understand where she's coming from, because I felt like that at the time as well. Like we would go on holidays and Pablo would be like, hey, let's do this expensive activity. And I'm like, haha, no, I can't afford that. Let's just do something free, like sit on the beach and
Go to the pool.
And then it was a bit awkward for both of us, because Pablo obviously was limited by how much I could spend. I was limited because I was broke and, you know, was trying to make my way in the corporate world and had to make sacrifices, like doing the unpaid internship to get experience. And then, yeah, we had a discussion, decided to split some things evenly, split some things according to income. And then eventually I started to make more money and it kind of evened out and we went back to 50-50 again. So I think it's one of those things that's always dynamic and it always changes based on like your situations, you know?
Exactly, because maybe later she could be earning more money.
Yeah.
And then that could be a different dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe he needs to have a discussion with her and they need to work things out. Because I think the thing is that, you know, when you're a couple and it's like, it's nice to know that you will have each other's back. You know, if I'm earning a lot of money, if Pablo's earning a lot of money, we kind of know, yeah, we've got each other's back, you know, no matter what happens, we're like a team. So
yeah, exactly. I think a dynamic is important because it changes quickly as well in nowadays.
So let's see the most popular options. So we asked you guys on Instagram what you guys like to do. So most popular answer, split evenly, 52%. Next one, split according to income, 36%. And the next popular one was one person pays for everything, 7%. And then completely separate, 5%, which I think is really, really interesting. I wish I could put in another option. I would put in like shared, you know, you kind of have like a shared bank account that you put money into, because that's actually what Pablo and I do now. We're both full-time creators, you know, working on Invest with Queenie and Pablo. So our income comes into our separate bank accounts, but we also have a shared account that we share expenses. So,
and also something they haven't mentioned is how much like does she have maybe extra time to do things at home, and then she doesn't get paid for that, but then he makes more money. So
oh yeah, that's true, exactly. And we'll go through that later as well, because I think that's really important to talk about, you know, unpaid work that people do around the household. You know, that stuff matters as well.
Of course,
it's really important.
So on to investing together or separate. We haven't got a story for this one. Haven't been spending enough time on Reddit, Queenie.
Sorry, I missed this one. Whoops. But we have a story from, I guess, our own lives, which we can share. To be honest, Pablo and I didn't really need to have a big discussion when it comes to investing and assets like I think a lot of couples may, because when we met, Pablo and I were both in a similar-ish financial position. So we both had student loans, both kind of had like a negative net worth and weren't making very much money, no assets, barely cash in the bank.
So for us, it was starting from the ground. So there was no like, oh, I have like $100,000 in the bank. This is mine. Or
yeah, exactly. It wasn't like awkward. Like I have a house. You know, you're living in my house and how we're going to split this.
We both started from like negative net worth. So that was pretty easy for that. And then, we just started basically investing together like in a robo-advisor.
Yeah.
Just simple, like trying to put like $1,000 a month combined into this account. And
yeah, it's pretty interesting because I guess for us as well, something else that happened was we went on a partnership visa together, and I think that really made us like solidify that, okay, if we break up, it's going to be 50-50. So our mindset was always, this is our money, these are our assets. And I think it's been really helpful as well because we both, it's not that we kind of like are looking at each other's expenses and are like, oh, you can't buy that or you can't do this. But we do like to think about ourselves as individuals, but also us as a couple. So we do like to talk about expenses and, you know, I'm probably not going to spend like $10,000 on something crazy because I know that it also affects Pablo as well. So like we discuss big expenses, you know, expenses over $100, $200, because it is like our finances and it affects both of us. But I think we are pretty fair when it comes to, what we want to spend money on.
Yeah, but in terms of investing, I guess so. Yeah, we started together and then just added more money. If I was making more, I will try to invest more. When you were earning more, you'll try to invest more, still having like extra cash. But that was kind of how we did it, and that way it was always growing the best possible way. And then we'll have still some money to spend on the side based on how much we're earning, but just slightly more investing if we're earning more as well.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of nice because we kind of, at the beginning, Pavel was earning more. Then there were some years I was earning more, and it was kind of like nice that we could both work together towards building our portfolios and like a team.